What's good, everybody, and welcome back to Unfocused. This is episode 2, and today I'm joined by Jan. And you may have seen that recently JKR have just done the rebranding for Burger King. And we were talking about this, and we thought this would be great content for the second version of Unfocused. And we thought a little bit deeper, and we thought we could maybe extend on obviously on episode 1 and see where this takes us. But the general idea from our side is to keep our eyes and ears to the ground and be checking out new brands that are actually being launched and rebranding by agencies, and to give our opinion on them.
Yeah, I think that's going to be funny because, I mean, we are talking about this when we see a new rebranding, you know, we immediately talking about it and building on our own opinion on that. And I think a lot of people do that. So yeah, let's share our opinion, and hopefully we also get some feedback from the people watching this and getting their opinion as well.
As you can see, we've kind of got a new setup here as well. So we're a little bit late to the game, I think, on this one. I think a lot of people have already had their views and shed their opinions on it on YouTube, on other platforms. But we definitely have an opinion, and we really want to share it with you. And also, kind of, I want to get your full side of the story and what you think to this as well. So, yeah, let's jump in and have a conversation about this.
Okay, Burger King. I mean, what's your experience with Burger King anyway?
Oh, yeah. I mean, the thing is, I don't go to Burger King. I mean, I don't really do fast food. I mean, I don't eat meat. I've not eaten meat for, I mean, over 20, 25 years. So actually, like, I think I can give a bit of an objective view when it comes to the brand and the brand aesthetics, based on my experience with branding and design, but I can't tell you what a Whopper tastes like.
No, it's fine. I mean, I'm also recently started eating vegetarian, but I still know how the Whopper tastes like.
That's maybe the wrong people to even do this.
Yeah, but we are looking at the brand today. But the brand is also very close connected to the product. So hopefully the rebranding also has an effect on how they are treated their products, or building their products. And yeah, all right, let's jump in, I'd say.
So what's the first thing we're looking at?
Yeah, I mean, there's a nice YouTube video from JRK.
Mm-hmm.
I never heard of them before. Did you?
No.
The agency who did
well,
the
I mean, I did some research. I looked at the stuff that they've done, and they've got quite a portfolio.
They
definitely
like
have a style as
they're
well.
around for a while. I mean, like for a while. So it looks like one of the very classic British agency, right?
Mm-hmm.
Agencies. All right, so let's have a look at the nice brand video they did.
All right.
Okay.
Let's do this.
All right. Yeah. I mean, a video like this is always great to get an overall impression on a brand. You have like all the elements come together, the illustration and the typography, the pictures, and then the music also makes a big difference, I guess. So we have a good impression now, but I'd say we just jump into the details now before we like give our opinion on the overall thing, I'd say. So first of all, let's have a look at the logo. So we have here the latest Burger King logo, next to the new one.
You know, this was actually released in the logo on the left was released in 1999. That is a long time ago. And apparently the new logo is supposed to reflect the heritage from the past 65 years. So it's obviously going back and paying homage. And the logo, the logo from before, they decided to get rid of the blue because blue obviously has nothing to do with food. And this shiny bun, after all this time, realized that food should not be shiny.
It's a chrome bun.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, the colors are obviously much nicer now. I think this yellow, this bright yellow and this blue, that, I mean, I used to work for like a travel service kind of company, and in this time it was very popular to use these colors. They all had blue and yellow, so it reminds me of that. Yeah, so color choice, I'd say.
I mean, but the thing is, right, you know, before this branding, did that logo disturb you at all? I mean, I definitely don't see it as being iconic. The thing is, I could not draw that logo. If you were to ask me, what does a Burger King look like, you know, in comparison to the McDonald's logo, I could not draw the Burger King logo.
No, yeah, of course, it's very complicated.
Not memorable for me. Like,
no, I mean, in general, I think it reflects a lot on, because they didn't change anything for, you just said 1999, and my, like, how I perceived Burger King lately was, I don't know, it was very dirty and broken. And I mean, do you know the scene from Terminator where, I don't know in which movie, but there's this playground and then there's this dystopian city, and then there comes like a huge explosion. But it's this like, when I look, because they always have these playgrounds in front of the restaurants, and you don't want to bring your kids there. They do not look very inviting. Or I used to play Cyberpunk lately a lot. So, you know, it's this whole dystopian world. Everything is broken, and
for me,
that's how Burger King felt for me.
For me, going into a Burger King is like taking a step back into the past, to be honest.
Yeah.
So actually, maybe the rebrand's not actually such a bad idea. Instead of trying to go back into the past with the logo currently, you just kind of create the past, and it saves you a whole lot of money, so you don't have to actually do anything inside.
Yeah. Yeah. So obviously, we didn't like the old logo too much. So,
well, to be honest, I didn't have an opinion on it because I've not revisited Burger King brand for a very long time. I mean, this is also another good. I mean, I've got some pros and cons written down, but obviously this is good press. I mean, there's been a lot of positivity received in the industry from the new branding. So obviously there is some good press, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
People are talking about Burger King again. As I said, I've not talked about the brand or even experienced the brand for 20 odd years, and suddenly it's thrust into my kind of sphere, and we're talking about it, which from a brand perspective is obviously a very good thing.
Yeah. I mean, we can look, the colors, obviously they're much warmer now, so they got rid of this very firing red and the bright yellow, so it's more like the yellow is becoming more like an orange. and the red is also, or something in between actually.
You know that the color palette is actually taken from brown of the buns.
Okay. I can see that.
The dark brown of the meat, the red of the ketchup, the green of the lettuce, and the yellow of the mustard, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, so they've actually, which is obviously sensible, is to take hues and references from the entire experience and the product and play those out across the brand.
Yeah. Okay, and then obviously the typography, it's, they get rid of this like italic kind of letters. This dynamic, which was in the logo before, is gone. So it's more, it feels more calm down. All right. Yeah, so we have a look at the evolution. So you just mentioned that
that's crazy.
It's actually inspired by, it's actually pretty close to the one they developed in 1969. So it's actually not a rebrand. It's
also first. I've never seen these. Look at the first one. It looks like a cereal box. What were they thinking? When's that from? 1954. I'm loving the 1957 one. We should have readdressed that. Who's that? Oh, that's the king, isn't it?
That's the king.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, there were obviously, that was different times. They were looking for finding their identity. I think back in the days, like brand identity was just starting to becoming a thing, and you definitely see consistency was not something they thought about.
One thing that
back in the days
I also find really interesting, and I know we've had the 80s, the 90s, and the early 2000s resurgence, but for the past couple of decades, I have definitely not seen a 70s resurgent, like a 70s revival. I think it's long overdue, to be quite honest. I think that's going to happen pretty soon, and maybe this is the first step, because this is very much around about the hippie times, the psychedelic times, when fonts were actually being played with really for the first time, and actually being given a little bit more kind of an expressive character rather than just using grotesques. And yeah, of course, it's very, very reminiscent of the 1969. But the 1969 logo is also, it's very classic. It's very simple. So out of all of their past history, there's not that much to choose from, to be honest. We're not going to have Mr. King on a burger like we had in 1957. But I would say the best place to start would be 1969, based on their history with their brand.
Yeah. From my feeling, it could have been a bit more different from what, just slightly more evolution from what I see, what they did already in 69 and also 94.
I have to talk with you as well about the idea of evolution rather than revolution. And at the end of the day, this is not just for us. It's not just for the design community or to please people who have an opinion on brand. It's also to reignite something with the consumers. And I think if you were to completely reinvent the wheel here, this could also. I'm not saying we should you should necessarily be safe, but strike a memory, strike a nerve. And I think this is what we've done. If you'd have completely reinvented this, then I think that could have been a bit too much.
Yeah, definitely, of course. I just like to see like a slightly more evolution on that logo, because as I said, it's more like bringing back the old one from 1994. I'd say it's pretty close, but it's fine if it works and people remember it. Then it's good. It's fine. All right, so here we have the logo in full view, plus this little monogram.
Monogram.
Yeah, that's nice.
This is cool. This is something that you've probably. I talk about a lot, or we discuss, and I bang on a lot about is the responsiveness of a logo, the kind of multifaceted, multi-dimensional space of a logo, and logos should definitely not be static. You can see the logo playing out in the animation as it built up the burger and stuff, which was fantastic. So it doesn't actually just have to live in one place. It can, spread its message across all the different media and platforms, and more so than ever, responsive logos need to be part of the brand development, so they can be flexible and be used social media as on whatever, basically, just so it can actually transcend the singularity, the single space that logos used to sit in. I think this is a great example. There's definitely, so that's new. I mean, that's something you've not seen before from Burger King, but already you can recognize that as Burger King, just from a K and some.
Yeah, and you have the
bread.
B and the K in one monogram, and that's
smart. I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't checked their Instagram account if they use it on that, but
maybe we should do our research.
Like to see how it feels there. All right, so here we have like all the brand elements laid out. So we see, like you already talked about, the whole color palette they use and what it's inspired from. We see illustration, which we already saw in the video. The typography, some icons, and then as you can see, the very 70s typography they use. So that actually reminds me on these Woodstock posters back in the days.
Absolutely, I can see the war room at their agency just covered in psychedelia and old school like Woodstock posters. I imagine it was probably a really cool project to work on, to be honest.
Yeah.
But actually, I just want to say, this is where I think the problems start with this brand. And I know everyone's loving it, and I also want to say I think it's really cool. I see this brand being a little bit campaigny. Because where do you go from here? I think it's a big bang, which is great. But, what does this look like a year from now or 2 years from now? If you look at the logo before, so the logo stood on its own, right? Even if we didn't like it, and all the campaigns were built around it. So the campaigns, I would say, would be somewhat neutral. They're not connected to the logo. Whereas here, everything is connected to the logo. And I think that's right, that you have the DNA is very much present inside of the brand. But yeah, I see this as there's a definite element of campaign. There's a beautiful rollout of consistency, but where do you go from here?
Good question. Is that a concern?
It's not a concern. I'm not concerned about it. I think it's, as I said, I think it's great. But it would be something that in the design process I would be asking. What's the longevity of this? I mean, how long is it until illustration is not popular, or people don't resonate anymore, or people have seen the big hands in a burger?
I mean, that's what we are preaching, is that you have a livable brand. Yeah. So I mean, you definitely have some fixed elements, like the logo, for example, and the typography maybe, and the colors. So there are things you can keep for a longer time. Obviously, like things like illustration. If you have like a very trendy illustration, then maybe it doesn't age so well like other parts of a brand identity. So I think you should definitely keep consistency with your core elements, but you can, I think it's not a bad thing then to keep on developing others like imagery or illustration, and also maybe even the icons. So you can. I mean, I'm definitely not hating on it. Yeah,
but I think this is one of the things that definitely pops up from my perspective is, where do we go from here? And maybe that's the challenge for the agency or for Burger King itself. Do you treat it as like a Star Wars trilogy, where you hand the baton to another director.
Mm.
You know, does somebody else, you know, take the core foundations and then reinvent it for next year and the year after, but keeping these core values, you know, at heart, you know.
Yeah. So looking at this, I really like the colors. Also, looking at the colors they used before, this looks much more tasty to me, and has much more, yeah, like feels more like
Vegetarian tasty, right?
natural products. I might question if these products are very natural, but
maybe that's for another video, right?
Yeah,
on another channel.
But it definitely, yeah, looks. I like it. The colors are nice, very nice. All right.
I mean, I'm not gonna have opinion on the colors. I think they make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing we always talk about, is always to give a reason why you've decided to make those decisions. And if you can justify and you can have a root and have those foundations at the core, then who can argue? I mean, it makes a hell of a lot of sense.
Mm.
Typography.
Yeah, so here we see this is like the very 70s inspired bold bubbly font. That's where I'm questioning, okay, how well does that age, to be honest. That might be funny to use that for a year, but I don't see that in 10 years, to be honest.
Yeah, I didn't really understand the in the animation on the video in the beginning what was going on with the letter forms. Can you remember that?
Ah, yeah, they have these drips coming.
I mean, is that the sauce?
The hot sauce, yeah, maybe.
I'd be also interested. Do you know the font? Is this font being commissioned? I would imagine so.
Yeah,
right?
I think it's. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's made for them for this rebrand. But
I also think with the direction that they've gone in, you couldn't really have gone another direction, to be honest. I mean, this is taken directly from the type in the logo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, true. Pretty close to that. But yeah, I don't see they using this forever, to be honest. I think it's. But let's see. So then we have these illustrations. I mean,
let's get hyped. Come on. I mean, I like it. I mean, it's not my style. I probably would have chosen something different, but it's okay.
Yeah,
it's okay.
They look cool. Yeah.
I think the thing about this brand is it's textbook. You know, you can only, like, I don't think we're not really faulting it. We're really looking at some of the details. I mean, you've got everything that you would need for a brand right now. Great colors, great sound, great illustration, a concept. Everything is very, very well rounded. I think this comes down to a matter of now, maybe just a matter of taste.
Yeah,
to be honest.
Yeah, I'm just thinking because looking at the other stuff, the typography, this comes definitely from the past. It's very influenced by the 70s. For me, this illustration feels more modern. I would say. I wouldn't say this is like 70s style or something. So, but it's good. I mean, for me that's not a bad thing. So you don't need to have. If you get influence from this time, then you not everything needs to be connected to that. So that's okay, and it fits. It's when I look at these screens on the telephone, looks nice.
The telephone, that's very retro. That's very. I wouldn't say 70s, but that's my old school friend here on his telephone.
Yeah, smartphone. Sorry.
Mobile device.
All right. Packaging.
This looks cool. I think this looks like something out of The Simpsons, to be honest. If you were to imagine a cartoon fast food chain, such as on The Simpsons, this is what you would get.
Yeah.
That's what I would say. It's maybe how I remember it from being a kid. Also, I love that I don't know if the crown ever went. If you know that, like, leave some comments for us in the descriptions, because obviously we've not been to McDonald's, Burger King for a long time. But I'm really interested to find out if you guys know if the crown was ever kind of discontinued, and this is a resurgence, because I remember as a kid wearing one of those crowns for a birthday party.
Okay.
But I like it. I think it's cool. Yeah. I'm a bit concerned, just from my ethical perspective, of the chicken face on the crunchy chicken box.
Yeah. No, I'm just trying to figure out, because then on some burgers they have this big typography, which looks pretty cool, and then some of them have these illustrations. But yeah, maybe they have like their core products, and then once they have some special releases, then they get these illustrations or something like this. So maybe, yeah. But overall, yeah, fits. And then the iconic logo on the iconic products, like the Coke and the fries. And
where's the Whopper? Is the Whopper still there? That's a good question, right? Where's the Whopper?
It must be this one, huh? I don't know. We will never find out, maybe.
All right, let's have a look at the next. I think what we're moving into.
Oh yeah,
website.
We want to have a look at the website.
Look at the website. So I think you did a little bit of research already. Obviously, we're based in.
Did I?
In Germany. Did you look at the German website?
I have both here. I have the American website and the German website, and they look different.
Okay.
Interesting, but yeah, I mean that's like corporate policies, I guess, and different agencies and
plant-based nuggets.
Oh,
maybe I'm making.
It's nearly lunchtime. Let's go there. Plant-based Whopper.
Okay. Now we're talking. All right. Maybe this is time to rediscover Burger King as a brand. I don't know.
I mean, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, beautiful. I mean, I see the consistencies there. It's great. It's really well done.
Yeah.
It's lovely.
I like the website.
I like it a lot as well. It's responsive, obviously. Yeah, works cool. Although I'm not seeing the use of the logo like we saw in the case. The logo is still remain the same. A little bit disappointed there.
Yeah, we're not brave enough to put it.
Maybe we need to check Instagram.
Maybe on the American website.
The British agency, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll be pretty happy with what I'm seeing from first glance anyway.
Yeah, I mean it looks good, well interpreted and translated into a website. We didn't get into the details like checking out the usability and how the brand is really integrated into the whole digital experience. But yeah, let's get to the next
something for another video, maybe.
Yes, to the next chapter. So we have the corporate uniforms. So it's always important that you have something so your employees also feel being a part of it.
Own your own brand, right?
Yeah. And yeah,
I like this stuff, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think it's very much reminiscent of the 70s.
Yeah, I just thought it would be funny if they had made these Schlaghosen. I don't know how you call them in English, to be honest.
I don't know what's a Schlaghosen.
The pant which goes.
Oh, you mean
really
flares?
wide.
Flares.
But that would be a bit too. Yeah, no.
Or bell bottoms is also the term. Bell bottoms and flares. Yeah, but I like the stuff. I mean, I would definitely wear one of these red T-shirts, and I think the polo shirt and the tracksuit top is definitely very reminiscent of that period.
Mm. Yeah.
And the little stripes as well. It's a really nice little touch.
Yeah, and you always need a balance between like the old and the new, and so the Schlaghosen would definitely be way too much.
I don't think you'd probably get these kids wearing flares, to be honest. Do you?
No, I'm sure.
I don't know.
Maybe
Maybe
they will come back at some point.
Yeah. If Burger King manages to, as I said earlier, relight the 70s resurgence, then maybe.
Make a capsule collection. Yeah. Okay, cool. I mean, I would be interesting. It would be cool if every employee gets like this package with like a T-shirt and a jacket and a polo shirt, and
Yeah.
I'm sure they feel very, connected to the brand then. All right.
All right. Now we're talking about the interior or the brand architecture. I think you're a little bit more suited to talk about this. But one thing that I do actually want to say is that this is actually a flagship that we're seeing right now, and apparently, from what I've read, you do because Burger King's a franchise model. You do not have to, as somebody who runs the franchise, adopt the brand.
Mm.
And I think that's also, for consistency, it's not great, but I also think it's quite fair at the moment. Obviously, with COVID, people are just not going to restaurants. People are not eating out as much. So, of course, when you do this, it's not free. As a franchise model, you have to buy into these things.
Okay. So okay.
Yeah. So you have the option.
So these old shops will be around for a while.
Yeah, you're probably going to see some of the old remnants of the old brand for quite some time.
Okay, so you might have this weird brand experience that you walk into a Burger King which has the
from
old
1999.
yeah, the old style, and then you go in and then but everything looks different and you get the packaging. Okay, that's. I mean, I understand that this is very expensive and difficult to implement, and
if
it
you
might
think how many
take a
Burger
while.
Kings there are.
Yeah. But it's a shame, yeah, to be honest. Okay, looking at the architecture, because I was talking about this, you need this balance, and they were obviously influenced by the 70s. I don't see anything of that when I look at these pictures, to be honest. It's very modern to me.
I think really roller skate disco outside and some short shorts.
Yeah, something like this would be
that
great.
Would have. I think that would have taken me back to the 70s. Not that I was able to be around and enjoying life like that in the 70s, but if I was, then I would I'd like to be a roller skate disco car wash, eating my burger, not in a wooden box.
And I would also say you can just change the logo and the colors and put the McDonald's logo on it, and nobody would actually.
Or Muji.
Yeah, would think, oh, this is. I think it's not really like connected to.
No,
it
looks like my TV cabinet.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and I think these vertical wooden panels, I think they are overdone, to be honest. I've seen them way too often. Like every German bakery has this wooden elements.
Yeah, but it's cheap, man. I think this is maybe one of the reasons that they did it.
Yeah, I mean, it's usually to implement some
pieces of wood
to make it more natural. Yeah,
you get them in a box. Boom, boom.
And you don't want a massive wooden wall. It's too expensive. So these panels are usually a cheap option to integrate some wooden elements. Yeah. Okay. But actually, from everything I've seen so far, this doesn't make any sense for me. It's not. Yeah. It's nice architecture, but it doesn't fit to the brand.
It feels like a bit of an afterthought.
Yeah.
If I were, to play out the whole thing, I think the story could have been told a little bit different. But
all right. So
this part of the video, we will kind of sum up conclusion and also give a score. And neither of us have spoken with each other, so neither of us know what score we're going to give it. It's going to be out of 10, so we'll do that at the end. But first of all, my conclusion would be, it's given me something to talk about. I really enjoyed it. I think, as I said before, it's textbook. And if I was studio or if I was working on a project like this, and this actually saw the light of day, because at the end of the day, you see love and charisma and you know, like, and maybe a lot of camaraderie as well with inside the team. You can see that there's a lot of fun and a real vision. And I think if what we see now is the version of what was actually, you know, scribbled and put up on the walls and presented to the client, then I would be very happy. I think I said before, it's textbook. It's done really well. It's consistent. It looks good. It's exciting, and it's got people talking about the brand again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So overall, I think it's pretty good. I like it. I like the color, the freshness, the natural appeal to it. The playfulness with the illustrations. Yeah, it's a nice balance between like the old from the 70s and also the new, the modern.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious about how, you know, if they can also translate that into their products. And, you know, I mean, we've seen some vegetarian and vegan products. But yeah, I want to go to Burger King and check if I'm not getting this really smashed. Blah, blah,
I don't know if I'm quite there yet, to be honest.
Mushy.
I don't know if I'm running to
burger.
Burger King. As I said, if there was a 70s roller skating car wash outside, maybe I'd be sharing my money. But it's not a place that I'm going to frequent. I don't really necessarily need to try a Burger King anytime soon. But if you want to, then report back for us.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is that it really needs a lot to change my view on Burger King.
Yeah, sure.
So let's see how this plays out within the next years.
All right.
But the first view, it definitely looks promising.
Good job, guys. Really, really well done. So yeah, with that, I'm going to give my score, and I would give a great big whopper of an 8.
8?
Yeah, for this one.
Yeah, I was also thinking about an 8, but since the architecture was a bit behind the rest of the brand, I give it a 7.
Ooh, controversial.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Cool. Then, that concludes our brand talk, and hope you've enjoyed it. Leave some comments. Get involved in the conversation. Let us know what you think, and we will see you in the next one.
Peace.
Peace.
See you later.